It helps if I unmute myself. Can you hear me now? Y'all can hear me? Somebody type in real quick that you can hear me, please. Jenna, can you hear me now? Okay, great. All right, perfect. Yes, it helps if I unmute. I have just figured that out. The big red button with the slash through it that says you're muted. Yeah, it helps if you click that. All right, guys, let me just start back over. I'm sorry. So we have done several of these together. I'm just going to start back from the beginning since I was muted and you couldn't hear me. I'm so sorry. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jody Jean Daniels. I'm an author and YouTuber, and we have been going over some time management processes so we can get into the flow and do a better job of just managing our time as authors. I have several in the playlist already. I'm going to add this one to it. Even though it's a live, I'll still be able to add it to the playlist. I encourage you to watch all of them and just go along and see, what you need. And you can always go into the description. You can always go into the comments, even after I do a video, I will come back to it and answer questions, or you can put it on the community page. I'm always available for you guys. You can also set up a Calendarly with me. It's in the description box below for us to sit and talk about your book, about any of the teachings that I do, anything that you have questions about. I will be happy to do with you. All right, let's see. Let's get back over here. So avoiding distractions. We can't totally avoid all distractions. That's not possible. But what we can do is set ourselves up for success so that we can do our best at eliminating as many as possible. Now, there is a piece of information that you're going to see two times. You're going to see it on this slide and you're going to see it on the next slide. I did that for a reason. It's because it is very important. Research shows that it takes an average of 23 minutes to refocus after you've been distracted. Now, this is scientific, peer-reviewed data. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, think about 23 minutes. Authors, when you think about we do our sprints together. When we do our sprints together, our sprints are 25 minutes each. So every time you are distracted, you're losing one sprint. Okay, think about that in terms of words, word count. I know my word count is between 500 and 800 for 25 minutes. That can be up to half a chapter. Okay, so you are losing half a chapter. So you have to keep in mind that a state of flow is really, it's vital for creatives like us. We have to have that quiet, that focus, because interruptions will shatter the state of flow. And it's always going to be, it's never going to be perfect, but you're always going to have those moments where you have to say no to the internet. You have to say no during these difficult times when you're trying to get through, say you're trying to get through, you have a block and you're like, it'd be so easy to give up and walk away. But those are the times you have to like double down and really dig in. The Journal of Experimental Psychology found that interruptions during a task such as writing increases the chance of you making errors. So not only does it interrupt your flow, but it interrupts. So it interrupts quantity. Okay. So you're losing word count. It also interrupts your quality. And your quality of your book is what's going to bring your readers back over and over and over again. All right, let's go to the next slide. Again, I know I've already said this with the high cost of distractions. It was just shocking to me that you will lose 23 minutes. When you lose your focus, you're going to lose 23 minutes of time to refocus. So, I wrote some notes down about this slide on the high cost of distractions. Um, for writers, this means you're losing each time you're distracted. You are not just losing the moment, but you are losing the better part of a half hour. And also, if you are switching between writing and other tasks, like checking emails or browsing social media, it takes you longer to complete your writing project, and it again affects your quality of work, not just your quantity, but your quality. So, here is where we can get into overcoming these issues. Oh, wait, I'm not on here for you guys. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. All right. So, here's what I want you to do for a week. I want you to you can either do it on your phone, you can do it on a piece of paper, a notebook, but keep up with for 1 week. Jot down every time you're distracted. When you're supposed to be writing, you've sat down at your desk, you've sat yourself up, and you're going to write. I want you to, and you find yourself somewhere else, write it down. Write the time, write what it was that distracted you. And even if you can, write down how much time you feel like you lost to writing it. Because at the end of the week, what we're going to do is we're going to go back through and look at, so quantitatively, we can look at how many words we lost by the minutes we lost, because we know how to do that math because we know our sprint times. Okay. All right, let's look. Now, the first thing you can really do that's going to help you a lot is to create a place that you find. Hang on, I got to pull up my notes too. You're going to create a specific place and specific time that you're going to be dedicated to writing, and this is your dedicated writing space. It's a place where your brain, when you sit down, is going to click on, and your brain is going to go, oh yeah, okay, I'm here, I got this. This is my writing time. For me, I light a candle. This is a habit that Sarah Cannon got me in the habit of. I have a specific candle, specific scent. I have 6 more of them waiting in the background, and I light it. And when I light this candle, that means it's writing time, and it triggers me to get to writing. Kay is saying if she jots everything down, she's going to fill a whole notebook. I know it's hard when you first get started trying to get on track to overcoming rabbit holes and distractions and just staying, organized and what you're supposed to be doing. But your writing space is something that needs to inspire you. It needs to be a place you feel happy at. It can be anything. It just has to be somewhere that will trigger your mind to be like, oh, this is my writing time. This is when I'm supposed to be writing. Okay. I have some do's and don'ts, just guidelines. All right, let me take me off so we can see everything. Okay. Do set up your app limits. Turn off non-essential notifications. You do want to schedule digital breaks. You do want to use the productivity tools that we've talked about in the past in our other and our other videos. Again, I hope you'll go back and watch all of them if you haven't. And you want to create a technology free zone. Okay. That means you're going to want to set your phone aside. Don't bring your phone with you. Don't pull up your email. Have it on your, desktop when you are beginning to write. You want to set that consistent. This is what I'm going to do. And this is how I'm going to do it. This is my writing time. And get your mind used to that. Now, the don'ts, where it says don't start your day with a device. You have got, I know that it's so easy to roll over in the morning and grab your phone and see what's going on. But I have stopped doing that. And it has changed the way my days start. I have an alarm set now, and I have it tied to Spotify. And when my alarm goes off in the morning, it immediately goes into a guided meditation. And so that guided meditation goes on, and I know that I can't touch that phone until the guided meditation is off. So I sit there and I do my guided meditation, and that gets me in the right mindset to go for the day. The other thing we don't want to do is you don't want to multitask. I know I'm kind of cheating against that right now because I have the PowerPoint pulled up on my phone right now while I'm talking to you guys, but it's because my notes don't come over and show in StreamYard all the notes that I've already taken. So I've got my notes pulled up to talk to you guys on here. But as a rule, don't multitask. Don't use devices before bed. I know sometimes this is not realistic because we all read on Kindle. So I would say what we could do is, if you're on Kindle, just make sure you've got your blue light on so it's not going to keep you awake. I also know the don'ts and this is all scientific research. This is not Tracy says to do this. This is all peer reviewed science. They're saying don't keep devices in your bedroom. I also know that's not realistic because a lot of us, our alarms are on our phones. But what you can do is you can set that phone away from you when you're trying to get work done, or when you know it's rest time. The phone goes away, the TV goes off, everything is done. Also, it says don't ignore the real world. A lot of times we will get stuck in doom scrolling, and you're sitting beside your loved one and you're both, instead of talking to each other, you're doom scrolling. So to tame that digital distraction, the best way to do it is just to have a rule that when you are having that together time, or you are having your writing time, you're going to set your phones aside. When I write, I put my phone in a specific place away from my desk. When I am having family time, we put our phones away. We do not bring our phones to the table. They are not allowed at dinner. And if you set up those rules ahead of time for yourself, whether it's in life or in your writing, it will help you get more consistent with overcoming that distraction. Okay. So, establishing a routine is going to help you more than I can really say. And we've talked about routine last week. When you're accustomed to writing at the same time and the same day, same time each day, your mind prepares to focus and the distractions will lose their power. And this consistency not only trains you to be mentally prepared, but it also signals to those around you that this is your dedicated writing time. And it'll protect you from the distractions because your creative space Everyone around, if you respect your time, others will realize they need to respect your time too. And if they don't, that's when we go back into that communication that we talked about last week with our family and friends. You've got to embrace the power of habit, because if you embrace that habit, you will your quality of work and your quantity of work, your writing is going to go up. All right. Again, setting communication boundaries. Setting clear boundaries with your colleagues is a little bit easier than your family, because family feels like they can just walk in your office whenever they want to. If they don't know where their socks are, or they are confused about, oh, hey, what are we having for dinner tonight? So you have to set those boundaries. It's crucial, because you have got to safeguard that time and your energy so you can focus on strictly your, it's not just your writing, but it's your story. Because every story you write, everything you create, you're giving it a little part of your soul. And when you're doing that, you need to consider that, the only word I can think of, and it doesn't really fit, but it's like it's holy. It's a holy time for you to get all of that out and get it on paper, because like I always say, if you don't write it, nobody's ever going to read it. Okay? All right. Let me go back over here so you can see all that. All right. Breaks are your friend. It's really easy to get caught in the loop of, or I know it is for me, of sitting down at my desk and powering through, is what I call it, where I get I get at my writing desk, and I'm working and I'm working and I'm working. And I know I need to get up. I know I need to go get water. I know I need to take a break. I know I need to give myself grace. And I don't do it unless I schedule it. If I schedule the time in either Asana or Google, whatever you use, if I have it scheduled, this is my break time, and it comes up, this is your break time. Again, there's something that triggers in your brain that, okay, now I need to back off, I need to relax and get this done. Yes. Chris says, I consider my mental health time. Writing is one. Yep. Writing is something that you get so much out of. You learn things about yourself. You learn things about how you process information. It's very, I don't know if a lot of you know this. I'm very scientific, very into science. That was the path I wanted when I was younger. So I find it intriguing to learn these things about how the mind works, how energy works, and how they kind of intertwine with each other. And I've really, if you don't, I know that people are like, hustle, 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 go, go, go. But if you don't stop and allow yourself that break, if you don't recharge, it's like, what is it that Jenna always says? If you don't fill your own well, you have nothing to draw from. I think that's it. So that's really true. If you don't take care of yourself, nobody else is going to. So take your breaks and take a time that is going to give you that moment where you can just relax and work things out in your mind about, okay, because that's going to be the moment that you step away when you're having a problem, maybe with your story, and you took that break. You're just sitting there and you're finally relaxed, and then everything's going to come back to you and you're going to be like, oh, I need to do this. Okay, this is how that story is going to work. So breaks are essential. All right. So here, let me pull this down so you can see everything. All right. So here's our commitment for the day. We are committing to clarity. Okay. So we're going to know our distractions. Remember how we're going to do that. We're going to keep up with our distractions for a week. We're going to jot them down when we've been pulled out of our train of thought while we're writing and we've went down some other path, because, and remember why, you can lose 23 minutes of, it takes you 23 minutes to refocus. After you've been distracted, that's basically an entire sprint. For me, that means 800 words lost. So you can remember and do the math on that to see where you're at. At the end of the week, after you have worked through all of that and done that, I want you to go back through, come back in and comment to me and tell me what that meant to you, what you lost word wise. When you see that number and you see what distractions can do to you, it's jarring. It's jarring, or it was for me. All right. The next thing you want to do to help overcome distractions is you want to create a writing space that you love. You want a place that you can go into and it makes you happy to be there. You look forward to it. Maybe you do what I do and you light a candle. You have a specific scent and candle that you have. You have a specific chair that you like to sit in. Whatever it is, just make it to where it's a habit, because what we're trying to do by creating that writing space is we're establishing a writing routine. All right. When you set a routines are habits, guys. Let's just face it. If you get into the habit of doing something at a specific time in a specific way, your brain is going to click on and it's going to help you. And like I said at the beginning, it's not going to fix every distraction. It's not. There's going to be times where you get drawn away, but it will help you alleviate most of them, and it will set you up for success. Setting boundaries with your friends and coworkers, I know that can be hard. I do get that setting boundaries. Some people it's easy for. Some people, like me, I'm a people pleaser. It's hard for me to set boundaries for a while. The older I've got, the easier it has become. But you have to set those boundaries. You have to say, hey, honey, I'm going to write today between 3 and 4 and I don't need any distractions. Or you can't, like I told Dan, I was like, hey, sweetheart, I'm going to go live at 11 and I'll be done before you need to go to lunch. But, this is what I need you to do. I need this time. And when you do that, you're also holding yourself accountable, because you've said, I'm writing from this time to this time. This is my time. So if your family and your friends and your coworkers see you being true to what you said and that you're holding that time sacred, they're going to be more apt to hold it sacred as well. All right. And the last thing we're going to remember about distractions is that our brain does need breaks. We do need moments where we can step away from our writing. We can step away from plotting and planning and all the things we have to do as authors. We can step away, take that deep breath, and just say, okay, this is my time to rest and to overcome everything that we've had going on today. All right. So We are back to the close. We're avoiding distractions. So I hope you found this video helpful. I will put the PowerPoint presentation and the notes up on my Patreon account. If you have any questions, you can set up a time to talk to me about them. Put it on Calendarly. The link is in the description below. And just set up that time. I see that Miss Miss Rita came in. Hey, honey. And Cammy, my hope for March is that I leave my phone and tablet away from it. Cammy, that's the best thing to do, baby, is just to set it away. That's what I've had to do. Like as soon as I get done here, I will take this and put it away. I won't have it here in my writing area at all. Okay. Oh, honey, you're welcome. Thank you for coming. But yeah, thank you guys. Again, I would love it. It would mean so much to me if you would subscribe to my channel. If you aren't already, if you could click the like button, if you could share this video with anyone you think it might help. I'm just trying to grow my channel and grow our community to a bigger, happier community that we have. I am super excited about this entire series and about all the things I have planned and coming up next. So I will see you guys in the next one. Actually, I will see you guys tonight. We are sprinting tonight at 8 p.m. So I will see you guys at 8 p.m. and we'll put this into practice tonight. We'll put all this into practice. All right. I love you guys. You know what I'm going to say before I say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I'm a really awesome group of people's double shot of whiskey. And I'm so happy and I'm so proud that you guys come and hang out with me and that you find me just right. I love you guys and I'll see you tonight. Bye.